Hi, my Gemini and Gemini rising friends. Sandra from For Your Chi here. We are here today to do your June 2022 tarot and oracle card reading, the first 6 houses. Thank you so much for being here with me. Welcome to June. It has been raining cats and dogs, so no outside reading for you all, but maybe next month. And happy birthday to my Geminis, if you are watching this on your birthday or near it. So let's get right into your reading. Now, when I pulled this card in your first house as the few days of June begin, I immediately had a flashback of when I used to work on the psychic hotline, and this client pulled this card in this house, and I said to her, I don't know what you're going through right now, honey, but you have to know that whatever difficulties you are experiencing at this time, you already planned to go through them before you entered this lifetime. This, whatever troubles, turmoils you are having and you've gone through recently, you planned it out. And she started sobbing, and then she started telling me all of these stories about all of the trials and tribulations that she has gone through. And I feel like that is the Gemini, that I'm speaking to certain Geminis that are in that sort of same boat as we in the early days of June here in 2022. I, for some reason, went to the Archangel Michael deck. I haven't used that deck in a reading like this in quite some time, and I have not used that deck with any other sign that I've recorded so far for June. So for right now, it's only you all, unless I decide to use them for the other, I think I have 4 left to record, or 5. We've got Archangel Michael, detach yourself from the outcome, or excuse me, the situation. So this is different because it's different than detaching from the outcome. It's telling you to detach from the drama, specifically. The drama of this karma card. This is obviously involving other people. This could be involving a relationship, because you got some weird relationship issue in the 7th house. We're not going to go through that here. We're going to go through it in depth in the extended contained in the description box below. The link will be on Patreon in the description box below. But however, this could also be drama related to family matters, family members, and you are caught up in the middle of it, Gemini, or someone is trying to pull you into it, and the Archangel Michael is here to tell you, no, it's time to cut that cord from that situation. And maybe the person too, that's not for everyone, right? So that's something to consider. Okay, 2nd house, we need to talk about this. 2nd house is talking about your money and your stuff. You have sacral chakra here. This says the Gemini is going around saying, I want this, I want that. You want maybe to keep up with the Joneses, but that's not a good idea. You're actually pushing what you want away from you further, Gemini, as a result of you being in this mode, this energy, this feeling place. It's not good for manifesting. Instead, what you should do, and what I always advise a client, especially in the house of money, you have got to be appreciative of what you already have. So for example, as you're making the mortgage payment, and I've done this for many years now, I forget who talked about this, if it was Denise Lynn or Sonia Choquette, I feel like it was one of those people. When you're paying your mortgage or something like that, a big payment, okay, whether it's a car payment or whatever, some kind of payment every month. And it's different now, right? Because we do a lot of bills electronically, where we used to physically write out a check. But as you're paying it, whatever methodology you're using, it is going to be important to thank the higher power, the universe, whatever you want to call it, for the funds for this bill and all of the conveniences And if it's your home, the shelter, the comfort, the warmth of whatever that it has provided you and your family. And the more that you do this, the more you're getting out of this mode, and the quicker you are attracting. The phone is dinging, so it agrees with me. The quicker you are attracting that which you truly desire and that which you've already asked for. Because remember, Esther, Abraham Hicks, right? They teach, ask and it is given. And it is the truth. I cannot tell you how many times I have made things just pop out of thin air for me. Okay, what should you do about this? It's time to detox your energy. They're saying spend more time outdoors. And it's funny that I wasn't able to do your reading outdoors because I really wanted to. And I woke up and it looked like it was going to be okay to do it. And then my husband said, oh, it may rain in an hour or two. You might want to wait to do your readings. And then sure enough, within 30 minutes of him saying that, it started pouring. So it's possible that you've tried to get outdoors and something was preventing you from doing that, like thunderstorms. Okay, so it's going to be important for you to get back on the outdoors horse as soon as possible. Okay, what the message for the third house? Remember, third house rules brother and sister, anyone you would consider brother, sister. So this card talks about creative energy. They could be having a lot of creativity that flows through them right now, whether they're artists, writers, craftsmen. I'm seeing somebody like busy tooling around in their workshop making things. They could also be doing some creative problem solving right now. They could be traveling. What does Archangel Michael have to say about this? Okay, there's some fear that your brother or sister needs to release himself or herself from. And I feel like once they do that, and you may need to have a talk with them about that, it's going to free them up so that it takes the burden off of that. I feel like there's a ball and chain around their legs right now that's preventing them from doing what they really want. But they need to let that fear go. That's going to be very vital, I'm hearing, to their future in receiving what they want. Okay, your fourth house, house of home, where you currently live. Okay, I love it. I love it. This is the Ten of Cups in traditional tarot. It indicates happy life, happy family. Now, this also is my real estate card. You could be putting roots down. Pardon me. You could be putting roots down, Gemini. You could be buying or selling some kind of property. You could be moving home. Believe and trust. I love this card from the Archangel Michael deck, and in fact, we pulled it twice. I have some of these cards I have doubled up in this reading. It does show up in the extended reading, but I just love when I see this card because it means that there's something hidden behind the scenes. You are going to get what you want here with regard to house and home. But you do need to trust that the universe, the higher power, has your back in this matter. This could also mean that your father figure is moving houses right now or buying and selling property or land or something like that. And perhaps there's been some delays because we've had Mercury retrograde and it has been in Gemini, although I'm told it went back to Taurus because it's retrograde going backwards or appearing to go backwards. This probably has affected Geminis more so than other signs, and it seems to always affect transactions when it's in Gemini. And recently we've had a big snafu here with a major grocery store chain and some other major store chains that were not able to accept credit cards. Like their credit card readers, they weren't working properly, and so it was like cash or check only. And we're like, what? Cash or check? Who carries that anymore? Right? So, there could have been some weirdness with the financial issues and therefore causing some sort of paperwork, details, communication, some sort of delay with the transaction related to a sale of a property. And I'm just going back to this believe and trust card, and you or your father did not think that it was going to happen because you had to wait so long. Or it just seemed like there were too many obstacles. But this indicates that there will be some sort of victory here. But perhaps it may take longer than anticipated. Your fifth house, your house of fun. Geminis like to have fun. They are party animals, right? My son will tell you, he's a 3-year-old Gemini. And he loves to party. He is the life of the party. Fulfillment of wishes. Now, for those of you single Geminis, this is your dating life, your social circle, your friendship networks. You are getting everything that you need here. Now, there is a need for the Gemini to bring a sense of humor to the party, and lighten up the atmosphere. You could be going to a party or some sort of event that feels very stuffy until you walk in the building and all of a sudden you start telling your Gemini jokes, or you start laughing and you start joking around, or, goofing off, and you are changing the energy of that function for the better. So good for you. All right. What do we have in the 6th house? Work and health. The throat chakra. This is very important. It's important for Geminis to speak their mind right now, especially at work. Now, I'm seeing someone who's either the work is being piled up on them, or you're having to cover for a coworker or somebody like that who's not doing their job, and the buck is getting passed to you because everybody knows that the Gemini is going to do it, and the Gemini needs to say, whoa, wait a minute here. My plate is full, people. I have A, B, C, and X, Y, Z going on, and I don't have time for this. So if this person is going to be a lazy F and not do their job, then we need to replace Susie Q or Danny V, whatever, right? Take your time before making this decision. So I feel like there is going to be a decision involved in what you have on your mind. This could also be health related because the 6th house does go into your health conditions, right? So you could have a throat thing going on, and if that's the case, this is not medical advice, but seek medical attention right away and get to the bottom of it. If they don't tell you, if they can't figure it out, keep getting more opinions until someone does figure it out. It could be allergies. You may need to go see an allergy specialist. And that's where take your time before making this decision, because this could be a diagnosis that isn't actually correct. So you don't want to have unnecessary surgery is what I'm trying to tell you. Make sure you get the 100% accurate information, okay? And the only way to do that is to get multiple opinions, unfortunately. Professional, of course. Licensed. Insured. You see where I'm going with this? Now, I want to go back to the work aspect for just a minute, because there could be, if the Gemini speaks out at work, there very well could be some backlash as a result of that. You could have some kind of consequence for speaking out, so I would advise you to, number one, wait until after Mercury goes direct, which I believe is June 4th or 5th. Wait until the week after that. The second thing I would do is write it all out, what you need or what you want to say, and think about it for 3 days. Now, this is after Mercury's direct, so that you've really had time to sit with it and it's 100% true. And then I want you to think about how it will be received and who you need to notify. Someone in authority. It's not going to do you any good to go spilling this to the if this is you that I'm talking to, the situation. Go spilling this to the coworker that's lazy, because what are they going to do about it, right? So it's going to be important to get out all the nitty-gritty details before you take action on that. But in no case should you bite your tongue, because there's some important information that people need to hear from you, Gemini. And you need to try to minimize those consequences as a result of you speaking your truth. Right? More people need to speak their truth now. More now than ever. Okay. I think that I have yammered enough here. We're going to look at your tarot cards as to who is showing up for you in your relationship house. The Queen of Cups, and we have the Two of Cups here, which is Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. We've got the Justice card indicating a Libra here, so that's who showed up for you in your 7th house of relationships. I brought back the Romance Angel deck, so we're going to be looking at that in your 7th house in detail. In the extended, we're going to be looking at your 8th house of taxes, legal matters, contracts, your significant other's income, if that applies to you, and intimacy. We're going to be looking at your travel and your trips. That is vacation. We're going to be looking at your career and your mother. We're going to be looking at your children and your best friend, and the future card, which shows up in September. I'm not ready for September. It's not even June yet. Many blessings to you, Geminis, and thanks for being here with me.